Hi everyone! So today I will be showing you how to create this really cool Ziggle Zaggle bracelet that I came up with on the monster tail. This is basically a loom that will help you make growing bracelets a little bit easier. Let me know if you guys want more tutorials using this. And so yeah, now without further ado, let's get started on the Ziggle Zaggle bracelet tutorial. So today you will need any type of hook. However, I would recommend using a metal tipped rainbow loom hook just because it is stronger than the plastic one, but if you have a plastic one, that's okay as well. You will also need a monster tail, and this is the new rainbow loom monster tail, or at the time of filming this is a new product. And also as many rubber bands as you'd like. However, I will be using these colors here along with white as well. This bracelet takes about the amount it takes for you to make a triple single bracelet multiplied by 2, plus the amount of bands it takes for a single chain around your wrist times like 1.5. So it's the band amount is 1.5 of the bands that it takes for you to get a single chain around your wrist, and 2 of how many it takes to make a 3-pin single chain around your wrist. So it's kind of confusing, but that's just kind of an estimate. If you have all those bracelets, then you can guess how many bands are in there. I personally do not know how many bands because I have only created a small bracelet sample so far because I wanted to get right ahead with filming, so I currently do not know how many rubber bands are in this bracelet. Anyways, I'm going to finish talking now. We're going to get started with the tutorial. So first we're going to start off with our monster tail here, and we're going to start with one of the bands that we're going to use as the outside border part on the Ziggle Zaggle bracelet. So you're going to take this and go from the top left pin here to the bottom right pin, like that. These 2 pins on the outside here we will not be using at all, so you can kind of block those off of your vision. And so you should have something like that twisted in a figure 8. Now you're going to take one of the bands that you're going to use for the inside bracelet part, and you're going to put these across these 2 pins, and then take one more band and put it across those 2 pins. So you should get something like that now. Now you're going to take your hook, you're going to grab the inside band here for the right band, take the inside band, you're going to pull it across, and you're going to stick it onto this pin right here. However, when you stick it on, you're going to twist it like this. So see my twisting motion here. Oh goodness. There we go. Like that. So you should get something like that now. Now we're going to do the same thing but to the opposite side. So you're going to grab the inside band here, the right side here. Grab it and you're going to pull it upwards and twist it around this pin here. Like that. So that's pretty much the hardest part of this bracelet. So we won't have to be twist any more bands from now on. So now I'm going to take one of the bands that I'm using for the outside frill part kind of, and stick that going diagonally again. And now we're going to start the hooking process. So I'm going to turn my mini loom thing monster tail sideways, and now we're going to hook on the 2 pins that this one long horizontal band attaches to. So we're going to start on this bottom right pin here. You're going to do an inverted fishtail stitch. So go inside the second band, grab the bottom band, pull that over the pin, and release. So you should get something like that now. Now we are going to turn the loom around and go to this bottom right pin again. Do another inverted fishtail stitch. So as you can see, I've got 3 layers here, like that. So I'm going to go inside, grab the bottom layer, pull this up and over the pin, like that, and push your bands down. So now since last time we just added on a long horizontal band, we're now going to add on what I call the triangle bands, which are the bands that are like triangle shaped. So you're going to start off with your first color and make a triangle here, like that, and start off, go on with your next color and make another triangle, so you should have something like this on your monster tail. Now we are going to hook all of the bottom layers over. So we're going to start on this side, grab the bottom white one here, just hook that over the pin and release. Like that. Do the same thing again. Grab this bottom white band, hook it over the pin, and release. Now, as you can see on this bottom right pin, we have 3 layers. However, you're just going to grab only the very bottom layer. Sorry, I moved the camera. You're only going to grab this very bottom layer here and pull it over. So you should still have 2 remaining layers here. And now we're going to take our loom and we're going to turn it around. So that way it's on the opposite side. And again, we're going to hook all of the bottom layers over. So grab the bottom layer here and hook that over the pin. Same thing on the next pin, grab the bottom layer and hook over. Now on this right pin here, we've got 3 layers. You're only going to grab the bottom one, so only one, and hook that over and release. Now it's time to add more bands on again. As you recall, last time we added on these triangle bands here, so now we're going to add a long horizontal band this time. You're going to take a single band and stretch it across here, and now we're going to start the hooking process again. Go to the bottom right pin. Remember, we're only going to hook these 2 pins because that's where the band extends from. Go to the bottom right pin and do an inverted fishtail stitch. So go inside the second layer, go to the very bottom layer, and pull that up and over the pin. Once you're finished, turn your loom around, and you're going to do the same thing onto the next bottom right pin. Inverted fishtail stitch. Like that. And push your bands down. So, whenever we hook this long horizontal band, or diagonal band I guess, we are going to do inverted fishtail stitches on the 2 pins that it connects to. Whenever we hook the 3 pin bands, which are the triangle bands, we are going to pull over only the bottom layer. So, now we're going to do more of the triangle bands. So you're going to stretch this from those 3 and do the same thing again on the next 3, like that. Now we are going to start the hooking process. So you're only going to pull over the bottom layer. So grab the bottom layer on each pin and pull it over. This goes for all the pins. Turn your loom around. Like that. And now, since last time we added on the triangle bands, we're now going to add on a long horizontal band. Even though it's diagonal, I still call it horizontal, but it's the long band. So now, since this band only attaches to these 2 pins, we're only going to hook these 2 pins. So you're going to go to each of those pins and remember, do an inverted fishtail stitch on that pin. And then turn your loom around. Inverted fishtail stitch again, like that. So now at this point you should be getting the hang of this bracelet. If not, that's okay, because I'm going to guide you through a few more steps. However, we are going to go a little faster this time. So last time we did the long horizontal band, we're now going to put on triangle bands. So put that on these 3. And you can tell which 3 pins to put it on because you can kind of see the silhouette of where the last 3 pins were attached to by 1 band. And now we're going to hook all the bottom layers over, and I'll give you a top view this time. Turn your loom around. And I call this a loom, but it's a monster tail. It's pretty much the same thing. Mini loom. Like that. So now we are going to add on a long horizontal or diagonal band. You're going to pull this diagonally across like that. And now we're going to hook over the bottom layers, or inverted fishtail stitch. So bottom layers through the second layer and then grab the bottom layer and hook over. Turn the monster tail around, and we're going to do the same thing to the bottom right pin. Go inside the second layer, grab the bottom layer, and hook that over. Like that. Now, since we just added on a long horizontal band, we're going to add on 2 triangle bands. And it's easier to see where the triangle pattern is here. As you can see, my blue bands, one attaches to these 3 and another attaches to those 3. So you know that you're going to attach each one of your new triangle bands to the same 3 pins. Like that. You can see that. And now we're going to hook over all the bottom layers. No inverted fishtail stitches when you do triangle bands. So in my case, I'm hooking over all of my turquoise jelly bands. Again here, very bottom layer. Like that. So now we are going to go ahead and add on another long horizontal band. And we're going to do inverted fishtail stitches now. So I've got the bottom right. Turn your loom around. Inverted fishtail stitch again, like that. So at this time you should see the start of your bracelet kind of emerging here. And of course this is not going to be the final look, because at the end we do have to pull some of the single chains out on the edges because they do get kind of caught. But I will show you how to do that so that way it'll look just like mine. So you should probably be getting the hang of how to do this bracelet and the pattern of how this bracelet works by now. If not, that's okay. You can still rewatch the previous instructions, but at this point, just that way the video isn't really long and lengthy, I'm going to go ahead and go off camera and finish my bracelet. And if you are following along, please pause the video here and continue your bracelet, and then after that we can catch up together and I will show you how to take this bracelet off of your monster tail. Okay, so I'm back and I'm finished with my entire bracelet here, as you can see. So now what we want to do is take this off of our loom. So the last bands that I put on and hooked were my triangle bands. So as you can see here, I've got my triangle bands on top. And so now I'm going to show you how to finish the bracelet off. So we're going to put all of the bands here onto this top left pin. So you're going to start here on the bottom, pick this bottom band up and place it onto this pin. Like that. Now you're going to pick this band up that's to the right and place it onto this top pin as well. Push those bands down. And now we're going to pick up this bottom band here. Pull that off and stretch it all the way up. Now you need high quality bands, so be careful and make sure that that band doesn't break. And then you're going to take this band that's up on the top right and put that on this top pin as well. Sorry, my hand's in the way. I'll put that on this top pin. And now you're going to take these last 2 bands here. And sorry, there's people upstairs talking. And you're going to take these 2 bands here and carefully remove them and fold them over and place them on this top pin here. So now you should have all of these bands that are on this top pin here. Okay, and now what we're going to do is you're going to take this, place it so that way the slit is towards you, and you're going to pick a single white band, or whatever color band you want. Stick your hook inside all of these bands here. Sorry, that's my elbow rubbing on the table. And you're going to pick this band up on your hook, like that. And then pull it carefully through all of these bands and place the end that's on your finger onto your hook like that. So you should get something like this now. And now at this time you will need a C-clip. I have mine here, and I'm going to carefully slide this onto the bands that are on my hook. So I apologize if I do block the way while I'm doing this, but I'm just going to slip those on like that. Remove it from my hook so I have this remaining here, and then carefully remove the bands off the pin. Because I have a metal hook, I'm going to use my metal hook to slide off the bands, but make sure your hook is strong enough if you want to do that as well. Pull your bracelet out, So now what we need to do is we need to pull out the edges on the side to make it frilly. So you should see kind of like a single chain on the side, and what you want to do is just pull out those edges. So I'm going to start on the right side and then I'll move on to the left. So I'm just going to fast forward here. So pull those out really good like that. So as you can see, I've got my single chain here. Then just continue pulling out those edges. Okay, so I have now finished pulling out all the single chains, and it took me a couple minutes to do this. So you should have something like this on the side, and now I'm just going to do the same thing to the other side here. So I'm going to fast forward this part again. And don't pull too hard, because then you don't want to pull the opposite side's links back inside if you yank too hard. Okay, so I've now finished pulling out all the edges, and as you can see, this is what I have now. And sometimes if you yank a little bit too hard on one side, then the other side will get sucked back in. So you just kind of want to be aware of that and make sure that everything is even out in the end. And so I've pretty much done everything, I think, except this link right here. And so now I'm just going to connect both ends of my bracelet. So I'm just going to use my C-clip, turn that to the side here, and clasp the other end on here. Like that. And now we are done with this really cool Ziggle Zaggle bracelet. So thank you guys so much for watching this tutorial. Once again, I did create this design on the monster tail, but I will also be posting a tutorial for this on the rainbow loom as well. But on the rainbow loom it is a bit harder just because there's a lot of tension on the pegs. So anyways, don't forget to give this video a thumbs up if you like this design, and also subscribe for more videos. Also, don't forget to follow me on Instagram, Pinterest, Twitter, and Facebook. My links are all in the description box below, and I will see you guys later. Bye!